In contemplating the multifaceted and intricate chronicle of the Battle of Midway, one is immediately struck by the labyrinthine complexity of its strategic, operational, and tactical dimensions. This pivotal encounter, ensconced within the broader tapestry of the Second World War, demands a dissection not merely of the events as they unfolded, but also of the myriad undercurrents that influenced them. At the heart of this analysis lies the understanding of Midway as a crucible, a testing ground for the doctrines, technologies, and human metal that defined naval warfare in the mid-20th century. To embark on this examination, one must first cast a discerning eye towards the strategic chessboard, as it was arrayed in early 1942. The Imperial Japanese Navy, buoyed by a string of successes that had commenced with the audacious attack on Pearl Harbor, was poised at a juncture of aggressive expansion and consolidation. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the architect of Japan's naval strategy, envisioned Midway as a fulcrum to tilt the balance of naval power decisively in Japan's favor. Yamamoto's plan, codenamed Operation MI, was underpinned by a philosophy of decisive battle, a Kantai Kessen, which sought to lure the American Pacific Fleet into a catastrophic engagement. This strategic gambit was not without its underpinnings in historical precedent, drawing as it did from the Russo-Japanese War of 1904 to 1905, particularly the Battle of Tsushima. However, the calculus in 1942 was dramatically altered by the presence of a new strategic variable, the aircraft carrier. The American response, orchestrated with a blend of audacity and ingenuity by Admirals Chester Nimitz, Frank Jack Fletcher, and Raymond Spruance, turned on the axis of intelligence and operational flexibility. The deciphering of Japanese naval codes, a feat of cryptographic brilliance, provided the U.S. Navy with a window into Yamamoto's intentions. This intelligence coup, however, was not a panacea. It demanded interpretation, the weighing of probability and possibility, and the readiness to commit forces to a battle that, in many respects, defied the traditional principles of naval engagement. Thus, the stage was set for a confrontation that was as much a clash of industrial and technological might as it was of human valor and strategic acumen. The unfolding of the battle, from the initial airstrikes to the attritional duels between carrier-based aircraft, was not merely a sequence of combat actions, but a manifestation of deeper strategic and operational doctrines. The Japanese reliance on heavy and light carriers, each with their specific roles and limitations, contrasted with the American emphasis on carrier task forces, a concept that demonstrated both flexibility and resilience under fire. The tactical dimension of Midway, often overshadowed by the broader strategic narrative, warrants a granular analysis. The deployment and maneuvering of aircraft, the torpedo bombers, dive bombers, and fighters on both sides reveal a tapestry of individual courage, technological limitations, and the harsh exigencies of aerial combat. The fates of the USS Yorktown and the Japanese carriers Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, and Hiryu were not merely the outcomes of bomb and torpedo strikes. They were the culmination of myriad decisions, gambles, and human endeavors that stretched back to the planning rooms and factories. In dissecting the Battle of Midway, one must also engage with the counterfactuals and what-ifs that tantalize historians and strategists alike. What if the Japanese had detected the American carriers earlier? What if the American dive bombers had arrived at a different moment? These questions, while speculative, serve to illuminate the razor's edge upon which historical events often balance. Midway's enduring significance in the mosaic of military history is less about its role as a fulcrum in the Pacific War, and more about its stark exposition of the unpredictable alchemy of warfare. This battle, a confluence of strategic foresight, intelligence mastery, and the whims of fortune, challenges the conventional wisdom of military doctrine and decision-making. It stands as a stark testament to the fact that in the theater of war, the most meticulous plans can unravel in the face of unforeseen variables, and the balance between triumph and catastrophe can hinge on moments of split-second decision-making and sheer happenstance. This is the deeper, less trodden narrative of Midway, offering a complex lesson in the dynamics of conflict where human factors intertwine indelibly with the machinery of war.